the niece, which is Lindsay Snyder, and that's my brother's sister-in-law. But, I asked my brother, what's the hardest part about your job? And he says, the hardest part is saying no. I'm like, well, what do you mean? He goes, it's so easy to say yes to people, to change and doing things that we don't want to do, and it's uncomfortable to say no. He goes, but Rich set out the standards for this company that would live and breathe by for its entire history. And to be able to follow those to the T is where their success has come from. And now Lindsay is doing the same now that she's old enough to run the company. And they've seen the success from holding to those standards year after year. That's why when you go there, hamburgers, fries, and drinks.
Yep,
There's no chicken sandwich.
Right. 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, and by the way, said, hey, people want us to have chicken. They want us to have this. They want us to have a kids' meal. And they've always said no, right? So, in brief, for the Live Life Driven show, little tidbits. It's the little things and the discipline that add up over time that will make you a better person in business. I know that I've seen a lot of success from it. So, Matt, I'm going to put you on the spot real quick as we wrap this up. This is a quick 20-minute show at the most. What can you tell our listeners to give them a little hope for the future as it relates to the country and where things are going in your mind?
Okay. Are we diving a little bit back into politics?
Well, just a little bit, because I think people need a little hope to keep that drive going.
Well, I'll give you 75 million reasons. I mean, there's 75 million people that voted for Donald Trump and put their trust, whether they loved him or just thought he was okay or just liked his vision for the future. I mean, liked what he had done the past 4 years, like the freedom and liberty that he restored to us. So I think Trump or not, America, where we are, it's. I think that even though we are divided, there is a huge group of Americans that still love America as founded, and want to restore that liberty and freedom that we've lost and hang on to the part that we haven't. So I do feel optimistic, and it does. Even the division, the silver lining to it, I know it's not good. The riots, violence, it's horrible way to go. If there's any silver lining in it, it really puts more people on to pick a side.
Yeah.
Stand up and fight. Stand up and let's start working. It was Reagan that said freedom is only a generation away from extinction. We got to stand up and fight for it. So
yeah, interesting. Just my 2 cents on the country. I believe in the Constitution and our rights that we earned through the Constitution, right? And Second Amendment, that's a big one that it's easy to talk about that. I don't care what party it is, but when it starts infringing on my rights, that's when I have a problem with the direction. And for me, there's some extreme left people, and I know it's a small group that have really pushed hard on changing some of these rights that we have. And that's where my fight is. I think there's a number of people in the Democratic Party that, they have the same values and trust in the Constitution, but they're being kind of trampled over a little bit, I think.
Sure.
And I think that we've got a lot of liberal media out there. And, we'll save the rest of this for your show. But I do believe that this is a good time to work together, open these conversations with more people, get involved. By the way, I'm going to announce this here and now, the last bit of the show. I am launching a conservative PAC. It's called Liberty or Lose. You'll find it on my social media. I'll talk about it more on this show. We will have some supporting materials. We'll do a podcast once in a while. And I hope that you look to support it because it's going to be to support our conservative values, not just right here in my own hometown, but beyond the borders of that town, beyond Montana if we need to. But really it's going to be a focus on our conservative, our rights in the Constitution. So anyways, you heard it here first. Live Life Driven. All right, Matt, thanks for being here. Let's get after doing your show, and thanks for tuning in to Live Life Driven. I got a really good show for you on the Answer is Yes coming up in the next couple of days, so keep an eye out for that. It's Jack Donovan, the author of Becoming a Barbarian and several other great books. So thanks for tuning in. The door is open wide. Feel the rhythm of today. Learn the part and join the play. The world is here. Let's take it for a ride. You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted. Shoot the moon.
This episode of The Answer is Yes brought to you by Baja Bound Insurance Services. Driving to Mexico? You can buy and print out your Mexican auto insurance policy online in minutes with their easy-to-use website. They also have great travel information to help you plan your trip south of the border. Visit BajaBound.com.